And welcome into the Wednesday edition, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Wednesday morning. We are live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. It is the day before Thanksgiving, and we've got a loaded show for you here today. Ian Safar, good morning. How are you? What's going on?
Good morning. Crazy just to hear that out loud. The day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Already.
I know it.
I don't know. The fall is just flying by.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to be December. The time is just, just flying. But doing good, thanks. Oh, well, we're getting messages from Joe.
It wouldn't be the day before Thanksgiving without some technical issues from Rexrode. Yes. He'll be along with us shortly.
From the northern lands, probably the frozen tundra up there, some type of malfunction.
I can't figure it out.
Maybe he's frozen outside in the dark.
Could be.
We've
seen him in the dark before.
Yep, some typical Joe fashion.
Could be.
In a way, yeah.
Well, we hope, first off, everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. It is a wonderful time of year. So
absolutely.
I hope you're enjoying it with people that you love.
We are thankful for all of you.
We are. We are very thankful for all of you. And we will not have a show Thursday or Friday. I believe Frazier and Connor Newt, we're going to be on the air on Friday at 3 o'clock. So
3 to 6, yeah.
We'll have some live coverage for you there coming up on Friday. But we will not be on the air Thursday and Friday on Robby and Rexrode, so we hope we can take you into the weekend with a little bit of style here. We got a lot coming up on the show today. We're going to get hot and heavy into the Vanderbilt and Tennessee matchup this weekend at Neyland Stadium. Barry Trotz spoke with DVD yesterday regarding the Predators. There's a whole bunch of stuff out there swirling around with the Predators right now, so we will get into that a little bit later in the show as well. We will get into the Titans' look ahead to their game this weekend against Jacksonville and see whether or not Cam Ward can build on a positive last outing against the Seattle Seahawks. And, of course, we have Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30 as well. Normally on Fridays, but we will do it this week on Wednesday. We say hello to Joe Rexrode on the program now, live from parts unknown. Joe Rexrode, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, sorry. I apparently it takes, I forgot that I have a Fisher-Price computer here that takes an hour and a half to boot. So, but yeah, doing fine. I hope that you watched your Vols last night. Did you not watch 1 second of your Vols last night?
Frankly, didn't know they were playing till the game was over. So
me either.
Yeah.
We talked about that actually. I woke up and I saw,
that's looks like college basketball is on my radar this week.
Big comeback win over Houston. Oh, I
Very
forgot
sad.
They were on. Should have watched that.
It was an amazing game. It was a great game, and it's a huge win for Rick Barnes.
I'm glad they got it. I am. I'm just you asked me a question, and I'm being as honest with you as I possibly can be right now. Didn't know it was happening.
Makes me sad. Makes me sad, but we will press forward.
I was also dealing with a sick 2-year-old yesterday, so I didn't know anything was happening. So it's all good.
She all right?
She's fine. Yep, she's good. She was all good by the end of the day. But yeah, that's what I did yesterday.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good dad. You're forgiven for missing this game.
Thank you. Well, tell me about it. I mean, it's Houston. It's a big win. I mean, I would imagine at the end of the year, that's one of those wins that we're going to be talking about that matters, and their strength of schedule and where they're going to be seated and all those things.
Oh, absolutely. No, it was just, I mean, Jacoby Gillespie. I mean, it's not Zakai Ziegler. It's different, but boy, he can score the basketball. And with Ament and Jalen Carey had some with the transfer from Vanderbilt. Really, he's a good player, man. He fits in well with their bigs as kind of that 4 guy who can get in there, get some rebounds, make some plays, hit some shots. They're a good team, man. Rick's got himself another good team. And so I don't know if you're familiar, there's a lot of complaining this week about this players era thing, right, in Vegas, because all these teams go to that. Like Maui is pretty bad, and I think Vanderbilt's the best team in at the Bahamas one.
Good for them.
So, but the weird thing about the players era thing is they don't do a straight bracket. They do they do like 2 games that are scheduled, and then they like base it on like margin of victory and stuff like that.
Okay.
Which is pretty dumb.
I would agree.
But so Tennessee, to me, like they should be in the championship, but I think it's probably Gonzaga, Michigan. I haven't looked.
Well, I read that Tennessee is playing for the 3rd place game.
Yeah, so there you go, which is again kind of dumb. But like Michigan beat Auburn by 30, so I mean, but did you see who Tennessee plays?
No, I didn't. Who do they play?
I'm asking Ian.
No,
not asking the basketball hater.
I'm not a hater. I just stuff going on.
No, I don't think I saw that.
Okay, because that's the thing. I mean, you end up getting these really good matchups, but again, they base it like on margin of victory and maybe other stuff too. Okay, so it's Kansas, so that's still really good.
Oh yeah,
so,
okay, Kansas. So you're right.
So everybody knows it's at 6:00 tonight. Kansas, Tennessee. That's pretty good. Gonzaga, Michigan will be the late one, but and the little Maryland, Bama, St. John's, Auburn, pretty good. So not bad.
Making them play 3 days in a row. Worry about fatigue.
That is true.
I just know that Vol Twitter is roasting Jeff Goodman, who tweeted on October the 30th, complaining about Rick Barnes and the schedule to begin the year. He's like, "This is Tennessee's opening of the season. Mercer, Northern Kentucky, North Florida, Rice, Tennessee State." And he was like, "I get Rick Barnes lost a ton, but he's also got ultimate job security for the good of the sport. Play a big game earlier in the season." And now all the Tennessee fans are like, "What do you think about that game, Jeff? How about that, Jeff? Have some of that." So Vol Twitter has temporarily directed their attention from Diego Pavia, at least for 5 minutes this morning.
That's nice. Well, he was interviewing Gillespie, and he was like, media really underrated you guys. Well,
I was reading some quotes from Barnes saying we kind of took that as a challenge in this game, that everyone has kind of been talking smack about our schedule.
Get after him, Rick. Yeah, Jeff Goodman, he friend of the show, I think. He come on the show. Yeah, friend of the show. Yeah, easy to rip sometimes. A lot of people like to do it.
Houston led by 11 at the half.
Well, comeback. Kelvin Sampson was complaining about the discrepancy in free throw shooting. I will say that he was complaining about the fouls. So
yeah, typical, he likes to complain.
Yeah, typical form.
Wouldn't be basketball game, so I didn't have to complain in there.
That's right.
We got a lot to get into on the show as we laid out today. A question that Rexrode has thrown out there that I think is very interesting, that I want to get Titans fans, Preds fans' thoughts on it. And as we know, Joe, a lot of combo fans in this city, right? A lot of combo Titans fans, Preds fans, and then pick your college of whoever you're a fan of at that point.
Unfortunately for them, yes.
Yeah, it's a real nice time for that right now. And the question that Rexrode has thrown out there is this. Let's say you can only afford season tickets for the next 5 years for one of those teams, be it the Titans or the Predators. Which way are you going? Where are you buying season tickets right now? Are you going Titans or are you going Predators if you had to pick one for the next 5 years? Joe, I think I know how the majority of people are going to respond to this, but I'm interested to get your thoughts. Where do you think people go with this?
Well, first of all, I think the only people, there are some people who clearly favor one sport over the other.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, I would eliminate them from this. So I'm talking just like the people who like equally love them.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know, first of all, the obvious response to this question is, hey, dude, I can afford a partial season for one of them. So why don't you cram your question? And, that's a totally fair response, by the way.
We're living in a hypothetical world here.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. You think I've thought about it, and I don't mean, I think that you get a lot more games, obviously, and you get. I definitely, now we don't know what it's going to be like. We know the new stadium's going to be nice and all that, but like there is still the whole like what else is around the game. It seems like it's going to be pretty cool in there.
Yeah.
So I guess that's probably the way I'd drift. And also, again, this kind of goes back to if you're betting on something in the NFL, a team turning it around in a 5-year period, like you have to be really incompetent to not, which the Titans have been, which is, so let's not sell them short on continuing to be this bad. But odds are they won't. Whereas if you're betting on, and then in the NHL, when you get to the point where the Preds are right now, usually there's an extended period of pain.
Usually. And the new stadium is a part of this, I think. I think the biggest part is what you just said. And we're also right now in a week, Joe, and the immediate answer to this, which I think for the purposes of this exercise, hopefully we can separate a little bit. But we did just on Sunday see the quarterback play probably his best game. And then the last body of work we have from the Predators is just getting absolutely shellacked 8-3 by the Florida Panthers. So try to separate the most recent outcomes from the conversation here.
Yeah, that's true. Right now, there's actually a little bit of like, feeling good on the Titan side, and there's absolutely none of that on the Pred side. So, yeah, got to keep that in mind too. But yeah, it's a 5-year thing. It's
exactly.
So it's like, I mean, look at that point. First of all, if you're a Preds fan right now, looking at the near future, you're thinking, you know what? There's going to be some picks, some prospects, and by golly, maybe even the number 1 pick coming up.
Yep.
So, I mean, do I roll the dice that I'm going to be watching Gavin McKenna, in Bridgestone in a few years? I mean, there's that to think about.
There is.
Again, some of that stuff could obviously tilt it for the Preds, but probabilities still tell you, that the Titans, and some of it is how you feel about Cam Ward. Yes, he just had an encouraging performance. He's making some progress. Do you look at that and say, oh yeah, he's going to be great? Some people do. I would caution them, but some people do.
A lot of thoughts on this already. We'll continue the discussion coming up next. Let's say you can afford season tickets for either the Titans or the Preds for the next 5 years. Only one. Which way are you going? We'll get more into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Taking your thoughts on our phone and text lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Rexrode's throwing it out there. Let's say you can afford season tickets for one of these two teams the next 5 years. The Titans or the Preds. You love them both. Which way are you going? Brian on our text line says, good question. And my answer surprises the crap out of me, but I'm going to go Titans. And I never thought I'd say that. But seeing the way Trotz is running this team right now, it's just not working. His stubbornness to change, I don't see it get better anytime soon. Maybe there's a little hope for the Titans coming up. Joey from Bellevue says, Titans with all the hockey games that I would go broke. Jason says, one factor that sways me to the Preds is you can watch all the Titans games on TV. Preds game require an app. A season ticket would actually let me watch the games. This is from Jason from Mount Juliet. So a lot of different thoughts.
It's actually a very good point. The television situation with the Titans is stable. It's
unless you're in Cookville.
That's true. That's true too.
Knoxville.
There's like dead zones where you well, I suppose this question is for Nashville people, but okay. I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't have to be. Yeah, that's true too. Titans are on 4 total televisions per Sunday, but at least there's it's like you can turn on a television and like you could like watch it and then like it doesn't kick you out and make you log in over and over again.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
Glitch out and stuff. So
every game
from that perspective, I guess that would be the reason to just go to the Preds. You can actually watch it uninterrupted. That's a good point.
Jeff says, as a former longtime season ticket holder of both, I would go with the Titans, even though I'm a bigger fan of the Preds. But I'm afraid the hockey team is about to enter a long period of wandering in the desert. The long-term outlook for the Preds is not good. The NFL is made for a quick turnaround if the right hires are made. Not so much in the NHL. And Joe, that's a point you've made a lot of. I mean, you really got to be a special level of inept in the National Football League to at least in a 5-year period of time go from awful to like pretty decent, right? Like if you can't do that, then there's something wrong with your process there, or you're just extremely unlucky, I guess, one of the two. But that in the NFL, it's kind of designed for you to get back into the mix relatively quickly if you're a well-run machine.
Right. Like the Titans looked completely hopeless in 2014 and 2015. So they had a good GM hire and they had a good interim coach hire. I mean, Mike Mularkey's not winning any Vince Lombardi awards, but he did a fine job, and so they immediately turned around. That's why we're sitting here right now. Now it's 4 straight double-digit loss seasons, which is pretty special.
Yep.
Now the first of those, you're still talking about a team that played for the division on the last day, but this is now going to be 3 straight years of just completely being hopeless. And again, that's hard to do. That is hard to pull off in the NFL. The teams that do that are typically just the obvious usual suspects of just mismanaged franchise. And again, that's the worry, right? The worry is that the Titans actually do have a chance to continue this adeptness, but there's hope in the GM, and then of course this coaching hire is huge. But you don't know what it is right now before you give your answer.
So that is true. You have no idea what the coach is going to be. I mean, right now, by text line breakdown, Joe, which is, as you know, one of my favorite ways to conduct business here on the show. By text line breakdown, they are leaning Titans, which is where I thought people would be leaning at this point. The one thing that I would say on that front is from the Predators' perspective. We talk a lot about the resistance to the rebuild, right? Well, it's a different thing in the NFL than it is the NHL. Number one, of how long a rebuild could take. But number two, like NFL teams basically could have no one show up to a game in the stadium and they'd still be fine with the TV deals and everything that they have. It just isn't that way in the NHL, right? Which is why most of the time these NHL teams are a little bit more hesitant to go wandering through the wilderness, as they say. And we've had a lot of Predators fans complain, and I understand it, about the resistance of the Predators to quote unquote embrace the rebuild or embrace the tank, right? But I think some of this that we're hearing is kind of why, because they don't want people to not come and the money that kind of comes with it. And look, I know there's revenue sharing, and I know that there's a new TV deal in the NHL, and it's not just totally gate that it used to be of like how much you relied on. But it's still a lot, right? Like there's 41 home games that these owners are definitely prioritizing here.
Absolutely. And getting into the playoffs is a huge deal.
Yep.
Selling season tickets off that, getting the revenue from that, all that stuff is a big deal. And so, from a business perspective, obviously anybody in any NHL franchise, you want to win a cup, you want to be great, all that stuff. But like there's a case to be made from the business perspective in the NHL to be in that middle ground and be at least good enough to think you can get to the playoffs year after year, right? Like, again, it doesn't sound exciting for fans. I'm not saying it sounds exciting to anybody, but if you're given a choice, I think a lot of these people, depending on what franchise we're talking about, what city we're talking about, okay, 5 years of just, it's going to be ugly, but then you're going to get these prospects that, if you look around the league, I mean, anybody who's good has forwards taken high in the draft, right? I mean, who have become stars. So, I mean, like it's pretty, like the formula seems pretty clear. Like the very top of the draft every year, for the most part, it's gonna, it's gonna work out for you, And if you never get there, eventually it's gonna cost you. So. A lot of people don't want to sign up for that and all that comes with it. So I get it. They'd rather say, you know what, I'll take the pretty good team. I'll take the pretty good team that we think we have some hope. And so that's what the Preds were for a long time. But now at some point it is going to find you. It has found them.
It's found them. And, the Titans are trying to claw out of it right now. I mean, they're 1-10, number one pick very much on the table, probably a likelihood that the Titans are going to end up getting the number one pick at the end of the year here too. And I think, if you make the right decisions, I think everybody is assuming that if they land the number one pick, that there's going to be a trade back option, and maybe there will. Hopefully there will. And you can kind of build some draft capital that way. But, Joe, I will say, you can go out, you can hire the right head coach, and you can make some good decisions. And if 2 years' time, Cam Ward isn't good, then you're kind of going right back into the desert, right? You got to go find a quarterback at that point. And look, it doesn't, I guess at that point, it doesn't necessarily have to be in the draft. Like if you do a good enough job of building up your team through the draft around Cam Ward, and it turns out that Ward's just not very good in a couple of years, you could go like the free agent quarterback route. You could go the quarterback retread route, which a lot of teams are going right. I mean, look, Indy just totally screwed up a draft pick at quarterback, and they may have just landed their next long-term quarterback in Daniel Jones and didn't have to use the draft to do it. So it's not like you got to go right back into a draft if Ward doesn't work out there, but it's possible that you'd have to start all over again if the quarterback doesn't work here in a couple of years.
Yeah, and I think more and more that becomes strategy in the NFL. Now, every year you're going to have quarterback needy teams. They want to get that, they want to get obviously the great player in the first round who has the rookie deal, right? So you can do those things. But like if Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold, if one of these guys I mean, we have already seen it with Stafford, right? Although he's a little different because it was a trade and it wasn't like he was given up on. I mean, it's just he's at a different team. So I shouldn't even have mentioned him. I'm sorry. But if any of those guys I mentioned, win it or even get to the Super Bowl, you wonder, does it become even more of a strategy for these teams, to okay, look around, who's given up on, Vikings giving up on JJ McCarthy. Okay, well, I think he's going to be good in 2 years. So yeah, there is always that. But bottom line is there's different ways to quickly turn yourself around. I mean, the Commanders last year, the Texans the year before. Who's this year's example of that? There's always an example every year. I mean, Indy is this year, right? I mean, that's pretty much and New England and the Patriots. Yeah. So it happens fast again, if you're halfway competent.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Take more of your thoughts on our text line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Barry Trotz did an interview with DVD yesterday. We'll react to some of that. Plus, another report around the NHL that does not paint the Nashville Predators in a good light. We will get into that as well. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode. Head out. And if you're a Vanderbilt fan, cheer on Vanderbilt football this Saturday with 102.5 The Game at Germantown Pub, located at 708 Monroe Street in Nashville. Starting at 2 o'clock, you can win great prizes. Watch Vanderbilt as they take on the Tennessee Volunteers this Saturday at Germantown Pub. We will get into Tennessee and Vanderbilt heavily throughout this program. Take your thoughts in the meantime, 615-737-1025. Again, Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30 today here on the program, where we will all pick the Tennessee and Vanderbilt game. So looking forward to that. Barry Trotz back on with DVD yesterday for his weekly visit. Said a few interesting things there, and looking at where they're at in the standings, I think everybody knows that it's going to take a borderline miracle at this point for the 25-26 version of the Nashville Predators to get back into the mix here. So a lot of it is about what exactly is going to happen over the next couple of months, and we'll get specifically, Joe, into some comments from Trotz coming up here in just a few minutes. There was another clip yesterday that was making its rounds all across social media from Frank Saravalli. And Frank Saravalli, longtime reporter in the NHL, an insider in the NHL, and he's got kind of his own show that he does, and he was talking about the Predators, and he's been talking about the Predators here for a couple of weeks. And this is what Frank Saravalli had to say on the toxicity of the Nashville Predators.
They responded for you after you played a significant card. You used a bullet as one option in your line here to try and get this team back on track, which is blast the players in the media. Okay, so he did that. 11 seconds in is how they answered. I've talked for weeks repeatedly about how the environment around the Nashville Predators is the most toxic in the NHL from top to bottom. No one is in a good place in the Nashville Predators organization, and they don't like the way that things have been handled. The play then isn't to put your players on blast publicly. That's not going to go over well. And we saw the response quite clearly on Monday night in Nashville. It's a brutal situation, and I don't know where they go from here.
So that was Frank Saravalli, Joe. Now, Trotz did respond to that yesterday with DVD, and he basically said that he talked with Roman Josi and some of the leadership about it, and that they basically just laughed about it. So does not appear to agree with Frank Saravalli's assessment there that things are toxic. Now, I don't guess I would necessarily expect him to come out on the radio and say that he agreed with that if he did find that it was toxic. But, Joe, your thoughts on what Frank Saravalli had to say there about the most toxic environment in the NHL right now of the Nashville Predators?
Well, he's okay. So this is more than once now for him to say that same thing.
Correct.
Now, when I hear that, in general, I think of player to player relationship, right? Like that's, to me, when you talk about a toxic environment around a team, I think of the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, but hearing him talk about it, it sounds, I guess, more like maybe players mad at front office / coaching. I mean, I get, again, I don't know. You do know, because you're in the Preds locker room all the time. I mean, not that, people can cover a team, and typically you're going to pick up on stuff. I mean, sometimes there's stuff that is happening. People can keep that under closed doors or whatever, and then they complain about it to somebody else in like media and, whatever. And that stuff happens. But for the most part, you get an idea of what a locker room's like if you cover it every day. And so first of all, let's go there. So from what you've seen, heard, etc.,
I don't see any of that.
The toxicity doesn't seem to exist like among the players, right?
No. I for everything wrong with them, I do not see any of that. Like I've not detected any sort of, toxicity or unhealthy environment with the players in the room. I just think they're not a very good hockey team.
Yeah. So that's, yeah. And look, I think Barry Trotz has been overstating it. And my goodness, it just feels like Barry Trotz is a different. I mean, I know he was on with DVD yesterday, but it's like, it feels like an absolute media assault campaign right now.
Yeah, he did something with ESPN. Obviously, the Tennessee, he's everywhere right now.
Yeah, Wyshynski wrote a 3,000-word story. I was like, I ain't reading all that, but congratulations, Preds, or sorry. No, I did end up reading. It was good, but I mean, so he's pushing hard. These guys are, again, he's got the coaching the butt off, he's got the playing the butt off, and then at some point it's like, my goodness, they're just, if you coach your butt off that much and you play your butt off that much, you must be butt to get these results. So I know I'm saying this after an 8-3 loss, but I do think, I think they play hard. Like it's not like some team that's out there, just totally going through the motions. So, okay. So again, when you hear specifically what Saravelli said there, I mean, this is where I would, I guess, potentially buy into it a little bit. Is Trotz did go, and again, basically for the Tennessee in particular, rip his players, and basically try to put as much on them as possible. Is that where toxicity lies with players and him? But again, that's such a recent thing, and Saravelli's been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, if you read through the piece in the Tennessee, did he call out his players? Of course he did. He also, I think, a couple of times throughout that whole thing was basically like, yeah, like at the end of the Tennessee article, he's talking about how maybe the roster is a big part of it, and he's willing to put that on himself. Like the roster is what it is. So, like,
but that still says the players stink
for sure,
which isn't wrong, but
But I mean, it's not like he's just absolving himself from blame, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's true.
So if I think that there's more than anything, I think there's just a realization from everybody of where they are. And I think that everybody deep down, and they're not going to talk about this in the media, at least not yet. But like if you're Ryan O'Reilly, you know that here in whether it's a few weeks or a few months, you're not going to be here anymore. Like you're going somewhere, right? Like Steven Stamkos chose to come here, uprooted his family, all that stuff. It didn't work out in Tampa, and he thought that this was going to be the place where he closed out his career. And now I think you're having to look around and saying, well, they're about to go in a rebuild. And, I've been thinking about this all week. Like there were comments that Stamkos made at the end of last year where like, hey man, as long as we're committed to winning, I'm here. Well, they're about to not be committed to winning. All right. Like it's pretty clear. They're about to not be. And right now they've been committed to winning and have been the worst team in the league. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, like, there's a chance that he could be gone. Now, I think his contract is going to be a problem at some point, but hey, from everybody out there seems to be a lot of interest in Stamkos and Marchessault. So we'll see. So I think more than anything, there's just like a realization of where they all are, and that the fact that this is going to be coming to an end pretty rapidly here. So I don't know. Does that create toxicity, but from the players looking up at Trotz? Maybe, but I think there was a realization pretty quickly this year. And we talked about some Stamkos comments a couple of weeks ago about how, hey, we ain't scoring 4 or 5 goals a game. I think we all know that at this point. There's a realization pretty quickly this year that they're just not very good. I think it's where a lot of this stems from.
Well, and then let's go back to the Wyshynski piece and the final quote from Roman Josi. Hopefully we're buying players at the end of the year instead of selling, right? I mean, again, if you're any of these guys, you have no interest in this. You have no interest in what's coming. None. You don't need this crap. I mean, Josi, Forsberg, Stamkos, all these guys, you don't need this crap.
Yep.
It sounds terrible. So if I was one of those guys and it starts to look like it's just inevitable, like, I mean, it's like, I mean, look, if you're these guys, it's like, you better start a winning streak right now. And you better, do like February of, 24, real fast. But I mean, if you're one of these guys, you have to look around and if I'm one of them looking around and I see the situation, yeah, man, I'm dude, no, thank you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you and the young guys and whatever's to come. But like, I understand these guys are professionals, highly paid and all that stuff. They'll be professionals, but that would be toxic in my mind.
Let's head to our phone line driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Ryan in Mount Juliet to the program. Ryan, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Morning, guys. On the rebuild thing, I definitely would take the Preds because you have a more chance of a faster rebuild with talent of the NHL than it is football. Because you can have a great team but no quarterback, so you're still in the same situation. And then real quick on the everything else, I think the team has just quit on the coach. I mean, I looked at Ryan O'Reilly on Monday just sitting on the bench doing a TV timeout, just looking around like, why am I here? Like, he had the look of he didn't want to be here anymore. Like, that look of, why am I here? I love this place, but it's like, maybe I need to go. Like, the team looks lost. We saw this with Hines his last year of his coaching. The team was quitting on him. They weren't playing up to abilities. And I think the same thing's happening again with Bruno.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate the call. A couple things on that. Look, it's easy to say the team quits when they just got beat 8-3 against the Florida Panthers. So I understand that. I don't know that there's been much quitting that's gone on with the team this year. The team didn't quit on John Hines either. I mean, they damn near made the playoffs and John Hines' last year. So the team didn't quit on John. I think people use that word way too much in these conversations. The Predators are not quitting on Andrew Brunette, but the bottom line is they're just not good, right? Like, they're not a good team, and they are clearly a team that has a lot of flaws. And I think probably ultimately, the coach is going to end up paying the price at some point. I mean, Trotz did say yesterday that, the coaching change is not off the table, and coaching change is still on the table, and all these things are still on the table. And look, the likelihood is this is not getting much better as the year goes on here. They're going to be a bad team. So, I would hesitate to use the word quit. I don't think that there is a whole lot of quit going on with the team.
No, it's one of the most overused things in sports, and again, especially I think in football and hockey, these are sports where go out there and quit and see what happens to you. But I must say our listeners are amazing. We have Trey, who's able to hear the bad footwork of Cam Ward, and now Ryan can look at a quick clip of Ryan O'Reilly and completely read his mind. I mean, like, we got some special things going on here.
615-737-1025, our phone number. Speaking of Ryan O'Reilly, the Ryan O'Reilly rumors have started. We will get into some of those coming next and get some reaction to a couple things Barry Trotz had to say. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Check out our NFL Game of the Week tomorrow. It's the Chiefs taking on the Cowboys at 3:30 on 102.5 The Game. NFL Game of the Week presented by Circus Sportsbook Kentucky and Macero and 12 South. Taking your thoughts on the Predators. Joe, the Ryan O'Reilly rumor mill has started. Pierre LeBrun putting it out there that the price on Ryan O'Reilly, if the Predators decide to move him later in the season, according to him, would be a first-round pick plus an A-level prospect. A first-round pick plus an A-level prospect is the price that Pierre LeBrun has thrown out there on Ryan O'Reilly. Now, look, Ryan O'Reilly, he's had a decent start to the year, right? You know, on this team, he's been one of their best players. I think on a contender, he's probably pretty good second or third line center that has obviously a ton of playoff experience. He's got 13 points in 22 games so far this year. People are going to be salivating over Ryan O'Reilly come trade deadline time. It's hard to get centers. It's hard to move centers. And the fact that he's a center that's as accomplished as he is, I saw LeBrun put that out there yesterday, and some people are like, well, I don't think the Predators can get that. I do. I think that they can get that. Like, I think that is what they should be aiming for when it comes to the price there. And there was a trade, last year that I think kind of lays the groundwork for it. It was Brock Nelson going from the Islanders to the Colorado Avalanche. And there was another defenseman involved in there, but there was also a prospect, Cal Ritchie, who's a really good prospect from Colorado, that went to New York in this trade, and they got a first-round pick back in there too. So I think that's kind of like the foundational part of it. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as their deal. I mean, there's another third-round pick that was a conditional pick in the 2028. There's a bunch of stuff in that trade, but the meat of that trade kind of seems to be like the comp for Ryan O'Reilly looking at this. So when you hear that, Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's time to get what you can get for these guys. I agree. Ryan O'Reilly is a great ad, perfect ad for a contender who needs, help in a variety of ways. All the things he can do. Bring a little humility to a locker room too. Of course, as Ryan O'Reilly sets the standard for that. But seriously, I think it's a no-brainer. My question would be, like, what if the Preds win 5 games in a row? I mean, I hate to say this. Well, I understand that, but I'm just saying, I know. I'm just saying, and I hate to say it this way, but is that like worst case scenario? Like you get a little, you get a little bump, you get a little life, you win a few, and all of a sudden is Barry like, okay, hold on, everybody, hold on a minute.
Start buying.
Yeah.
Just
hey,
bring them all.
Again.
I'm making trades.
Hey, the last quote in Wyshynski's piece was Roman Josi talking about he's hoping they're buying, not selling at the deadline. Again, I'm sure he does hope that, but how quickly could this flip? Even though I think for the most part in media, you probably say this about everybody, have kind of moved to the point of, okay, this team is absolutely going nowhere. Are they sure?
I mean, if you're not sure, then we need to have probably a different conversation. Like, if you can't
listen to Barry's quotes.
Okay. If you're not sure that you can't, if you are leaving some hope that you're going to dig your way out of this, Bill Haslam needs to fire Barry Trotz and fire Andrew Brunette now. It's time for some realism in this conversation. It's time for some realism in this process. Quit waiting on, let's see if in the next 9 games we go 7-1-1, which, by the way, we all know is not happening. They've won 6 games the whole year. They're not going to roll off 5 in a row now. But if that's the way you're operating, it's time to cut bait now, because you're screwed moving forward if you can't have some level of realism in this conversation.
I don't disagree with you at all. I mean, again, there's a lot of words from Barry Trotz written, written word and audio here in just the last few days. But there definitely is some my God, guys, just score, stuff like that. And you're like, what if they do just happen to go on a little hot streak, I mean, like how much is this? I guess the question, I guess basically like, has he fully embraced it yet? And I don't know. After the last few days, I would argue he hasn't yet.
I think he has. I don't
Okay.
think he's going to come out and outright say, hey, guys, we suck and we know it. But hey, still come to the game the rest of the year, right? Like, still spend your money.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to say it. I think that Barry Trotz knows where they are, and I think he knows what's about to happen now. And then the question becomes, just like any other general manager, all right, can you do it right? Like, if you're going to go through this, can you get yourself through it? And frankly, throughout the process, is there a little bit of luck involved that the ping pong ball falls your way in a draft at one point? But I think he knows. I just think that you're not going to see the general manager, at least at this point in November, come out and say, hey, guys, we know that this thing is a total lost cause and we are screwed and we're about to start trading people, but please keep buying tickets and come watching us the rest of the year. That's my take.
Okay. No, yeah. I mean, I think that I hope you're right, and that makes sense. I still like if we could, and I know like Redemption, he's laughing at me like, yeah, 5 in a row, ha. And I don't think it's going to happen. I'd like to see that alternate reality, and the conversation, the conversations that might follow it. It's just, that's what the Preds have. And to their credit, at times, by the way, there have been times in the last few years where it's like, okay, and obviously they did sell off, heavily 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm already getting my years jumbled. That was 3. Gosh, but they have had those, like, again, just like two years ago. These uprisings where it's like then you talk yourself into when you have a goalie like that, you just never know what's going to happen this postseason. Of course, I think that is, along with a lot of other things now, it's just like, okay, there's obviously no hope, but yeah, you definitely want you want everybody to be on the same page, and you don't want to miss an opportunity for an O'Reilly move or other moves that may come in. Again, I say a Saros move, but maybe that's a bridge too far for these people.
615-737-1025 is our phone number, 615-737-1025. We will get in some college football, Tennessee and Vanderbilt coming up next. We'll get people asking about the college football playoff rankings. We'll get into all that in the 7 o'clock hour as well. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. Vanderbilt football taking on Tennessee this Saturday. Pre-game at 1 o'clock on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. Kickoff at 2:30. Vanderbilt football brought to you by Gary Fort's Acura, Jimmy Kelly's Steakhouse, and Smoky Mountain Tops. Joe, we had a long conversation about Vanderbilt, Tennessee yesterday. Diego Pavia at the forefront of this, with Tennessee fans obviously have their sights set in on the Vanderbilt quarterback, as does pretty much everybody who plays Vanderbilt. But I will say, Pavia, the comments that he had about Vanderbilt running the state of Tennessee have resurfaced a lot on social media this week. Clearly there's a look, Diego Pavia is a very controversial guy, right? Like, if you're a Vanderbilt fan, you love him. If you're a Tennessee fan or a team that doesn't like Vanderbilt, you don't like Diego Pavia heading into all this. So that part of it going to be really spicy heading into the matchup on Saturday. Joe, you're throwing a question out there. Have Vanderbilt fans ever hated a Tennessee player as much as Tennessee fans currently hate Diego Pavia? I think it's a very good question.
Yeah, and I could extend that to, doesn't have to be football. We could talk, we could talk hoops too. I mean, my gosh. So Brandon on the YouTube chat, by the way, all I've got is a YouTube chat. The text line just hates me and wants me to stay out. So all you texters that could be trolling me right now. I just can't get in there. I'm really sorry.
Keep them up.
But Brandon is sitting here saying, like, basically, thank goodness that Kai Ziegler's gone. Like, what? That is all-time dumb. Now I would look at him as an opposing fan, as someone who, I mean, just an absolute pest and just a winner, right? And just in your face, talked a lot of trash. Seems like he'd be a decent candidate. Obviously, Juwan Jennings, right? But is Juwan Jennings, like, was he a good enough player to qualify for that? Like, I mean, he was really good. Then he's had a heck of an NFL career, way beyond expectations. I just don't know, like, he was out, he was not playing. He was playing. I don't know. Like, I guess, you got great players like Peyton Manning, right? But,
yeah.
but to me, that's just I hate him because he's good. With Pavia, it's, I hate him because he's good. If you're a Vols fan, you have to admit that, right? Like, all of this stuff is, if he wasn't really good, then it wouldn't be nearly as intense as it is right now. But then also all the trash he's talked. I'm just wondering if there's a comp that honestly, I'm not thinking of.
The answer in this is, for a Vanderbilt fan, is probably some Tennessee baseball player, like, Tony Vitello.
That's a good point.
Drew Gilbert. Yeah, it's probably like Drew Gilbert. Yeah, but again,
probably Tony V. Like,
it's probably. I mean, that's what it is. It's Vitello, but he's a coach. So
he's a coach, but that probably is, like, who have they hated more than Tony V?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably the one. Now, and again, we all know that baseball around here, especially with Vanderbilt and Tennessee, has gotten big. But I do think in scope, there's still a pretty big difference between college baseball hatred and college football.
Yeah. Okay. So just on the football front, you're right. Like, that's clear, especially because baseball is Vanderbilt's thing. That's where they've been great for a long time. Just on the football front, like, I mean, why did people hate Al Wilson? He's a great player, but, like,
yeah, there's nobody that really stands out. Like, there are a couple of guys that I thought maybe could have been that person, but Tennessee was so bad at the time. Like, Tyler Bray definitely could have been one of those, but Tennessee sucked. Right? Like, I mean, the offense is good, but, Tyler Bray definitely could have been somebody that Vanderbilt fans hated. I think Vanderbilt beat him at least once, right? Maybe twice. I can't remember.
What's interesting about this, as you think about it, is, like, and I know now Vanderbilt fans are immediately going to turn on me and call me GB Joe, but, like, most of Tennessee's great players in football have been, like, really likable people, like Eric Berry, or Trey Smith, or, Hendon Hooker. Like, you know what I mean? There you go. Like, they've actually had really, really nice guys who are great players. Why can't you do that, Vanderbilt?
Oh, there we go. Get in there.
Yeah. Mike Diego's out
Cutler
here making everybody mad.
That's true.
Yeah. Cutler and Diego. That is some I mean, that is way I mean, I guess if you're Vanderbilt, you should pump your chest out on that. Like, yeah, like we have great players, maybe not as many, but
Did
when
they
we
hate
get them, they talk
Dobbs?
trash.
You're like, you know
No,
what?
I mean, of course,
Dobbs
yeah,
is.
exactly.
I'm so tired of hearing about this dude.
Who's the running back?
Being
Jalen
a
Hurd.
rocket scientist. Yeah,
Jalen Hurd kind of got a little bit of a bad rap at one point, but wasn't that bad.
Well, yeah, but he was more hated by Tennessee
fans. Yeah.
It's like, please play Kamara.
that is kind of the power of Vol Twitter. They kind of hate their own more than anybody could ever hate them.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, there was a lot that went out with Jalen Hurd, you know.
Yeah, there was.
So, but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and you know, here's another thing. Just so I'm not going to GB Joe on this, like the stuff about Pavia's mom, you people need to stop.
Down. Yeah, calm down.
So she's like a proud mom who was like dancing and having fun, and they showed Joey Aguilar's mom too. Someone had a tweet. It was like, we're gonna have the biggest mom game ever between Joey's mom and Diego's mom. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, what is this? Like, some idiot who covers Alabama, just an idiot, you know, tweets out like, oh, classless, just like her son. Like, classless because she's dancing and enjoying like her son's win on senior day. How stupid are you?
Jackson says there's not a specific UT player. It's their obnoxious and entitled fans who everyone hates. This from Jackson on the text line. That's what I'm talking about.
That's not the question.
Get in there.
But yeah. No, we're all for it. Any trash talk at all. I'm here for it.
I don't think there's a player that really stands out. I really don't. Like in terms of like just a player on the football side of things for Tennessee that Vanderbilt fans have absolutely hated. I mean, I guess Jennings would be the closest one. But again, you're talking about like, you know, I do think when it's quarterback, it's just different, right? Like you're talking about a wide receiver on that front.
Yeah. You know, I know Jimmy White's going to be there, and as he almost always is for this game. And boy, what a big day for him! I mean, such an amazing. Like, we're talking about one of the great Vanderbilt fans of all time.
Oh yeah,
who, by the way, has a degree from UT and continues to be an absolute diehard Vanderbilt fan. Now, I mean, I'm getting like flashbacks from the column I wrote after that Jennings stomp the next day in the press box in Indy, and Jimmy Wyatt ripped. Actually being mean the only time of his life, just telling me what a homer I am for the Vols.
The amount of times that you've been accused of being a homer of the Vols and Vanderbilt at the same time is amazing to me.
Oh, I know. There's like a reader at The Athletic. I've blocked him on Twitter, but every time that I write anything about Vanderbilt, he immediately goes in the comments. Oh, here we go, Vandy Joe. I'm like, yeah, okay, just can't win. But yeah, the fan thing, of course, right? Like, I think Tennessee fans, like, if Tennessee football ever wins a national championship, you know, I think already their fan base it has distinguished itself online. And I mean, you know, I know some people would be like, okay, do you really pay close attention to like LSU Twitter? I mean, I have to admit some ignorance here, but I don't know, man. I think it's pretty special. I think consistently, and it's been obviously a tough road. Now it's gotten better. What if it gets to the top level?
Oh, they'll be insufferable.
Fans? Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, we're talking about, by the way, they have a real chance of losing at home to Vanderbilt on Saturday. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I know that they are favored in the game. I think most of the country thinks they're going to lose on Saturday. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's a 2.5 point. I think the line is 2.5 points. So that tells me, Joe, it's Neyland Stadium at home, and Vegas on a neutral field is either probably leaning slightly toward Vanderbilt or pick them straight up.
Yeah. You think most of the country?
I think most of the country thinks Tennessee's going to lose.
Huh. That's interesting. I don't know. I think people who pay close attention to the SEC and have watched both these teams. I mean, frankly, I think I'm with you. Like, that line tells you that that they're viewed equally, or maybe even Vanderbilt a little bit of an edge. Vanderbilt's had a better season, an amazing season, a historic season. I've watched both of them a ton. I would give Tennessee a 2 or 3 point edge on a neutral field. That's just me.
Matt
GB
says,
Joe.
Just
call me GB Joe.
As a lifelong Vol fan and alumni, I'm enjoying the trash talk. If these fans are upset, it's a good thing they're too young for the Spurrier years. I do miss the old ball coach in the SEC.
Oh man, no doubt. Yeah, like
Friend of the
Lane
show.
tries to be him. Yeah, friend of the show. That's right. Lane tries to be him, but he doesn't. He doesn't have it, man. He wants to be him, which I guess maybe maybe
Well,
we can. Maybe that means something.
There's an opportunity.
He's no Spurrier. He's no Spurrier. We miss him.
One
Can't spell citrus without UT.
One texter says Tennessee fans are obnoxious. You ever been to Tuscaloosa or Gainesville, bro? Rexrode's going to piss off every fan base in the SEC in this segment. I like it.
Yeah, I have been to both those places, and absolutely, I'm talking more. I mean, I am talking more like the online stuff that goes on with. But again, like that's where I have to admit, like I'm more attuned to that, right? Having been here, covered Tennessee for a long time now, stuff like that. So I'm more attuned to it. However, I do feel like there's just more weird stuff that comes out of all Twitter. I'm talking more that like in person, there's always obnoxious. These are huge fan bases. These are huge SEC fan bases. So, you end up around like the wrong.
They're all obnoxious. And that's what we've come down to. Yeah.
But
they're all
at
obnoxious.
at the same time, like if you're a visiting fan, like if you really look at visiting fans in visiting stadiums, I would say that still like 70-80% of them have the experience is fine. Right.
Yeah.
It's basically you run into the wrong and excessively drunken people. Probably if you're closer to students, it gets worse, I would guess. Right.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, in real life, they're all
Certain
obnoxious.
adults.
I'm just saying online that Tennessee fans, I think, have found a niche that is very special.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. Could Diego Pavia's smack talk be a detriment to Vanderbilt in this game? We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. If you're looking for a great spot to pregame on Sunday before the Titans game, stop by John Bon Jovi's pregame with 102.5 The Game. JBJ's, the best food on Broadway, cold beer, and cocktails, stunning skyline views, including 2 epic rooftops. Pregame show brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment and Circa Sportsbook, Kentucky. We will have the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode later this hour at 7:45. Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30. Looking ahead to Tennessee and Vanderbilt, a massive game on Saturday at Neyland Stadium. Joe, we've talked about Pavia. We've talked about what he's had to say. There's no Diego Pavia not scared to talk. And that, I think, gets the attention of his opponents. But so far, it really hadn't mattered all that much, right? I mean, Alabama got after him in that game, and he made some crucial turnovers. And Vanderbilt in general, not just Pavia, started very poorly against Texas, and then they figured it out as the game went on, and it was too late at that point. But for the most part, hadn't really mattered what Diego Pavia said throughout the year. He's backed it up with his play on the field. So we know, Joe, that Tennessee players, fans, whoever are going to be ready to play against Diego Pavia in this one. Like I said, it hasn't mattered all that much this year. He's done his thing out there. So what do you make of kind of that aspect of the matchup heading into this, of all this noise around Pavia and Tennessee and all the comments we've talked about, and how does that actually affect the game on Saturday?
Yeah, typically not a big if it's a big enough game, they're all going to play hard, right? I mean, like, there's so much at stake. Obviously, there's more at stake for Vanderbilt, but there's a lot of stake for Tennessee too. You can't lose this game, right? If you're Tennessee. So I feel like, there's limitations to it. I do wonder, just Pavia, especially with Tennessee, because he has talked, again, the biggest trash talk he said was like Vanderbilt's going to run Tennessee. So really a lot of what he said is like stuff that he's saying will happen after he's gone. Yep. Right. So it's like, there's going to be totally different looking rosters next year and the year after that. And it's kind of, again, it's more of like a fan anger thing. Like Vols fans hear that and like, please shut up. I
can guarantee you it's being used in that Tennessee locker room this week, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, it still counts as him talking trash about, Vanderbilt being better than Tennessee. Yep. They're higher ranked than Tennessee right now. So, like, you can look at them and say, okay, we're gonna knock them down. I mean, was it last year? I don't remember what it was. Was it like after the fact? One of the SEC documentaries or whatever, and he was like, go Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was the Netflix one, right?
Yeah, so of course people had fun with that because of course they didn't. They got a 14-0 lead and then they got run off the field. So, but I to me it's like, does it hurt Vanderbilt? I don't think so. Again, he's lost, like you said, he's lost some of those games. He talked a lot of trash about Alabama that week, but he said like it won't be close if they execute, and then he fumbled early and he threw the pick in the fourth quarter when they were trying to go ahead in the fourth. But was that because of what he said? I mean, I don't think so. He made some mistakes and Alabama's a little bit better team, but you wonder if maybe it's like a late hit or something, and again, I guess that could help Vanderbilt, but also you don't want to get the guy hurt. Like he's, when you're a quarterback doing what he does, but people want to get any kind of shot on you that they can. And I certainly think we're going to see that Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee's going to try to hit him. I think he's done a much better job protecting himself this year. It's not, you're still going to see Diego Pavia, and I'm sure we'll see it in this game. When he needs to lower the shoulder and, try to act like a fullback out there and try to, pick up a first down and get as much yardage as he can. But like in general, I think they've done a good job of protecting him this year. And frankly, in some of these games, like Kentucky, I don't know if Kentucky ever breathed on him in that game. He was just back there dealing all day long. And that's probably the other part of this. Like last year, Joe, yes, Pavia got hurt in the second half of the year, but I think he's made extreme progress as a passer, like as a deep ball thrower. Not that he was terrible at it last year, but some of the throws he made in that Kentucky game, I mean, you said it, he couldn't have walked up and handed it to him any better than he threw the ball. And I think it's just it's a different Vanderbilt offense that you're dealing with this year if you're Tennessee. Yeah, you got to be concerned about the option and him running around, At this point, I think you've also got to be concerned if you're Tennessee with, man, he will throw it right over the top of you and throw it very well, very accurately right over the top of you. So you better be pretty sticky in coverage while you're trying not to let him take over the game running the ball.
Yeah. And look, Trey Richardson, you saw last week, but like Trey Richardson is like one of the fastest dudes in the SEC. So, and Sherrill can go deep too, and obviously Stowers is such a huge mismatch for like linebackers trying to cover him. Say, I mean,
what's
he's
the
a
over
problem,
under in this game? That's what I want to know. I haven't looked at it.
That's a great question. Don't tell me. I'm gonna put the over under at 73.5.
You're a little
which
high.
is high.
But
A little high?
It's
Okay.
65.5.
Oh man, hit the over.
I'm kind of with you. Now I'm looking around the rest of college football, and right now it's like the highest one I see at 65.5 in the top 25 for sure. But still, like it's like I feel like if both offenses play the way that they've played the majority of this year, we're gonna have a barn burner out there on Saturday.
I do too.
Which of course means what the final score is gonna be 17-14. So
of course. Yeah, but I mean the one difference, of course, is like Vanderbilt, and eventually they'll hit these big plays, and so it's not like this, but they have a lot of long drives. Like they're really good at just getting you in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and then it's like everything's open to them. Do a little option thing. They might just surprise you with like a stretch play, and obviously anything in the pass game, and they just eat up the clock. And obviously Tennessee is out there doing when they go fast, these touchdown drives can go by in a flash. So it is kind of an interesting contrast in terms of like one of them does like to control the ball a lot more. But yeah, I don't like either defense in this game. I love both offenses.
We will get into the college football playoff rankings coming up next, what it means for Vanderbilt and what's the help that Vanderbilt is going to need if they beat Tennessee this weekend. We will get into all that. Today, Vanderbilt men's basketball taking on Western Kentucky with an 11 a.m. tip-off pregame show starting at 10:30 on 102.5 The Game. This is Robby and Rexrode here on 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. We'll have the Rex Rant coming up here in just a few minutes. Let's head to our phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Kenny the mailman to the program. Kenny, good morning. How are you?
How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
Before I say something, I just wanted to take a minute and let you know I'm thankful and grateful for y'all. Y'all have been a good company for me. A lot of cold, dark days getting to work back and forth. So I just want to let you know y'all are appreciated. I know it gets old at times getting up and everything, but people listen.
Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Kenny.
And listen, I am so grateful and thankful for this whole Vanderbilt football season because I really have no connection with Vanderbilt. I have trouble even spelling Vanderbilt, but I've rooted for them for 50 years. As a kid, I went over there. There was nothing else to do in town. I sold programs and we get in games, so I've always rooted for them. But they've never had an important season. To have a season where they're still being talked about at the end of the game has just been – it has been, I don't have words to describe it. It is so, so neat, and I'll always appreciate it. And I am so excited for the game Saturday. Really, it means more to me than the college bowl projections and programs that they're trying to figure out, because in my lifetime, Joe, you are really smart at this. How many lunar landings have there been?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think it's 6. In my lifetime, Vanderbilt has won 4 times in Knoxville. So statistically speaking, it's been harder for them to win in Knoxville than to land on the moon.
Jeez.
So, I mean, you start thinking the numbers like that. I don't think they've ever been back-to-back bowl games, maybe once in the whole program. So just for this to work out this way, it has been really, really neat to see. And for a lot of people, I've never hated anyone else on other teams. Sports to me is a pleasant diversion. When you start hating somebody, you might want to check yourself and see why does that kind of feelings come up on somebody you don't even know, really. So listen, it's been great to talk to y'all, and I'm going to enjoy this one way or another.
Thank you, Kenny.
A great Thanksgiving.
Appreciate you as well, Kenny. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I mean, it's I've not heard the moon landing stat, but that puts it in perspective, Joe.
Well, good, good for Kenny, good perspective. But by golly, we should get some hate going. I'm thankful for hate too. Okay, as long as again it's like sports hate.
Yeah,
right. Like sports hate is good.
Healthy hate.
You don't want it. Yeah, exactly. As far as now his moon landing, that's great stuff. Now I'm imagining a Vol Twitter. Being like, okay, are we sure that any moon landings and any Vanderbilt victories over Tennessee have actually happened? Is it all just smoke and mirrors? Just saying.
So the college
Big
football,
Orange Mac, get on it, buddy.
That's what we need. Investigative work. College football playoff rankings are out again. No changes to the top 5. Now, Oregon moved ahead of Ole Miss after their win against USC, and Miami has moved ahead of Utah, which is causing just a big old stir right now. And I saw Mitch Light put this out there last night, Joe. A lot of conversation on the Miami front. And it's like, okay, how in the world is Miami being rewarded for all this and Vanderbilt is not? And here was the tweet from Mitch Light. In the last 2 weeks, Miami has moved up from 18 to 11 after beating teams ranked 109 and 66 by scores of 17 and 34. Vanderbilt stayed at 14 after beating a team ranked 57 by 28. And it's like, how is this happening? So, and I think it was actually 15, not 18. So, and Mitch Light corrected himself later. So Miami's gone from 15 to 11 by beating basically like Syracuse 38-10. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it's really interesting because first of all, the Notre Dame Miami thing is going to be if Miami beats Pittsburgh, the Notre Dame Miami thing is going to be just hugely controversial. And again, I'm seeing I'm a little more down the middle on the whole Miami Notre Dame thing, I guess. But I'm seeing friends of the show, Dan Wolken, Ari Wasserman, saying this would be the biggest controversy ever, the biggest mistake ever if Miami beating Notre Dame but then with Notre Dame getting in over Miami, how could you possibly do that? The committee said last night they are now compared against each other. They just think Notre Dame's better. I mean, it's just so. And I do think if it's close, look, head to head can't overtake everything, right? Like head to head on its own is not everything, but if you're close enough, like they seem to be, I would hope that it would be a tiebreaker.
It needs to matter at some point. Otherwise, I don't know what we're playing for.
Yeah. So there's that. The Vanderbilt thing. I know some people were like, and Mitch makes a good point there. There's always, I mean, look, why did Michigan jump 3 spots from beating Maryland? I mean, I have no idea. Why? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, it's like, so is the committee getting them ready to get in if they beat Ohio State? I don't know. Like that's conspiratorial, but there are some weird things that happen in this. With Vanderbilt, though, I think it's the same thing. Like Miami could be a problem, for sure. But I still think that Vanderbilt winning at Tennessee, I think that's a huge jump that people aren't giving credit for. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I think they would get a huge bump if they win at Tennessee. Like I'm not worried about Utah. They're going to be past Utah. BYU, that's interesting. But I still think it comes down to at least one of these SEC teams has to lose. At least one of these SEC teams has to be upset. If that's the case, then you get into how could you leave out a 10-2 SEC team that just won at Tennessee? And I think Vanderbilt would be in but they have to have Alabama, Oklahoma, or Ole Miss lose.
Yeah. And yeah, you'd be
rooting
hard for Tigers this weekend if you're Vanderbilt. Get LSU to take down Oklahoma, get Auburn, take down Alabama. So that's the one part of this. The Kiffin thing got brought up last night too. And I think the quote about that from Juracek was it's basically that it's in the protocol, but there was. I'm not sure we'll have a data point to use that as part of the protocol. So we'll see what all that looks like.
Would that not be ridiculous if they bumped Ole Miss down because Kiffin's gone?
You think it would? I don't know. I think some people would say it would be ridiculous if they didn't. I mean, he's their play caller too. Let's not forget that.
I don't know. That seems hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the protocols, and again, we saw what happened with Florida State. Now, later, he got pressed on that, Robby, on the teleconference, and he did say it could matter. Okay. But the difference is, he left it open. But he's right. I mean, the difference is we saw Florida State play without Jordan Travis, and they sucked. And so it was way easier to be like, this team's not good enough. We will not have seen Ole Miss play without Lane.
That was a player, right?
Yeah, for sure. But and we've talked about this, but I mean, if you don't think that taking a head coach out, and in particular, the guy who is specifically like running your offense, he's not like Ed Orgeron head coach, right? The offense is his baby. I mean, I don't think you can just completely dismiss that.
I don't think they're going to end up missing the playoff because of it, but I do think it will affect
not if
their
they win.
Yeah, if they win, of course. Yeah.
But if they lose, I could see that being the difference.
Yeah.
And that could be the justification. And that's why ultimately he got pressed on it last night and he left it open because you can't close the door. They're going to see all these things happen and then they're going to put the field they want together.
Yep.
And then they're going to justify
I do not like this committee.
I think that's a good way to put it, though. They're going to put the field they want together. That's
kind
of what it feels like.
I do not like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is a yearly thing, and they just make stuff up from week to week. It's what it is. They make stuff up from week to week because it's a TV show. That's what it comes down to.
Well, the one thing for sure about this committee, I mean, and I actually wrote a sarcastic column today that a lot of readers are saying very mean things to me about, but this is by far the most I've ever heard people talk about all the film they watch. I mean, every single week it's like, oh, this team. I mean, yesterday we're talking about Oregon special teams. I'm like, oh my God, we finally got into talking about special teams. We're talking about this team's good up the middle. This team has a great running game. I mean, it's like they are the most like film watching, and we base this on our experts, our coaches, former coaches watching film than I've ever heard. It's kind of wild.
Let's head to our phone line. Welcome in Nate to the program. Nate, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
What's up, guys? So I put this out on Twitter last night. I haven't watched the college football playoff show much this year, if at all. But I saw the one clip. And with that one clip, I cannot take this college football playoff committee seriously anymore. Yes, we all want to have fun on TV and shows and everything, but when it seems like a leader of something, whether it be a commissioner, a playoff committee spokesperson, it's always cringe. And him doing the 6-7 thing last night, you're wanting people to take you seriously and actually listen to what you have to say, even though what you say just doesn't mean anything. I just can't take them seriously.
Thank you for the call, Nate. Joe, did you do 6-7? Did you write a column on the 6-7? The
No,
100-yard check broke out last night.
I mean, I think Nate might be taking a little seriously there, but yes, it was a very dorky moment for Hunter and the committee. He did the 6-7, very dorky. But I mean, whatever. That I have other issues that are.
Yeah, they got a long list of issues before that.
Yeah, like yeah. I mean, like again, like last night, there was nothing to me that's like too outrageous. But if we get to the end, and I understand, like we're focused on Vanderbilt, and we're going to see. I mean, if Vanderbilt doesn't get in, if they beat Tennessee, they don't get in because these teams ahead of them win. I'll go through it all and be like, look, I'm sorry, but like the schedule just like these other teams have better wins, man. Like it's just, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. So we'll see how that plays out. But the Notre Dame Miami thing, it's going to be a problem to me. If Miami goes in, thumps Pitt, and maybe they won't. Pitt could make it easy on everybody this week, and they're good enough to just beat Miami and knock it out. But Notre Dame and Miami, if it comes down to that, and Notre Dame gets in just because they think they're better, I have a real problem with that.
Yeah, and I'm still look, Notre Dame looks good. They passed the eyeball test, and I understand that the losses that they have are good. But go find me. They're good wins. They don't have them. So go find me. They're good wins. I mean, we just found out about USC this past weekend. They ain't very good.
Yeah. The best win, kicking the crap out of Pitt on the road is good. I mean, that's a good one. It's not a great win, but that does to me that matters. You talk about that, especially with Pitt going in and thumping Georgia Tech, which I was also a paper tiger, by the way, but still, I mean, but now it's like it is on Miami to like style point it at Pitt's expense this week, and they might just lose.
They might. 615-737-1025, our phone number. We'll have the Rex rant coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game.
Sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. And sometimes he's just, well, Joe.
Awkward moment. Let's do it.
This is the Rex Rant, now on Robby and Rexrode.
Hello, everyone. Surprised to see me here?
I might lose my mind today.
You know, some of these rats around here, so.
What's that going on Snapface? Get that on there. Yeah, good.
I tried to join Snapface.
Way too many conversations about Diego Pavia's mom. We love we ass, okay? Vrabel, smash away.
Pitch and kid.
I married my cousin last year. Overrated is turkey. And I swear he looks like a diseased chicken. If you're out there and you're thinking about green bean casserole tomorrow, throw a little bacon in there.
Which one of you has gout?
It is time for the Rex Rant, brought to you by Functional Medicine of Tennessee. Rise up to better health. Check them out at functionalmedicineoftennessee.net. Joseph, the floor is yours.
Can I change that quickly to turkey bacon? Try turkey bacon. See, best of both worlds. Gout free, still delicious. If you do it right, I do broccoli salad with turkey bacon, and you cannot tell that it's turkey bacon. I promise you. So I just want you to know that. I'm going to thank you. Do a little grab bag today because I was going to do. Like Jordan Hudson is suing Pablo Torre, and it's just it's just not gonna go well, man. It's like so he's like already catching her like with I don't even know. I don't even understand everything that's going on, but it's not good for her. And like I would just advise her to just like stop. And also I would advise apparently, this is the New York Post reporting, so it's the New York Post reporting, but the report is that Belichick's daughter went off on her, after like a game or whatever, and it just sounds like it's going really well. So
sure, North Carolina administration's loving it.
Yeah. Good luck to all of them. It seems like it's really going well. But I want to hit a couple other things. One of them is so this week you got the Players Era Festival, which we talked about earlier in the show. Huge win for Tennessee over Houston. Big opportunity against Kansas. Kansas still, they don't have Darren Peterson, their superstar freshman, but they're still a really good team. That'd be a win that would, if Tennessee gets out of Vegas with Houston and Kansas, to its credit, first of all, Greg Sankey should send Rick Barnes all the fruit baskets because it hasn't been the Big 12 has been the best league so far. If you knock out Houston and Kansas, that's a big deal. Like when it comes to, these leagues, and that stuff that can come around during selection time, which by the way, the basketball selection committee, we complain about them. They make a lot more sense than the football selection committee, I must say. But what I want to talk about is, so there's a lot of complaining this week. Okay. And Jeff Goodman's getting it. He's doing some awkward interviews. He's sending out tweets that piss people off. This thing is like they have like two courts going at once and stuff, and it's like it's a big arena, and so it looks very empty. So and meanwhile, like Maui, Jay Billis doesn't care. He's out in Hawaii, but like he just it's like there's just not great teams in Maui this year. The field in Maui and the Bahamas they're weak. So people are angry about Feast Week. So first of all, one thing I would say is like, if you get good basketball games, like that's still a great Feast Week. And we've had some great ones and we're going to have more. Michigan State, North Carolina are going to play on Thanksgiving. Like that's just like a 4-team thing in Fort Myers, but it's a great game. So we're getting plenty of good hoops. Okay. Yes. I love Maui too. It's the greatest thing ever. And I want that stuff to survive, but remember those things are played in like the Maui it's a high school gym. Okay, so it's like this the packed great atmosphere because it's like 1,500 people. Okay, so again, you take those people and you spread them out in a big arena, it looks bad. But the biggest thing about this that bothers me, because I've seen someone who I think is like a credentialed media member talking about like the Players Era thing, paying off national media members to support the tournament. And it's easy to make fun of Jeff Goodman sometimes.
I volunteer.
Criticize. Yeah. Like he, to the point where Goodman actually, and I really, he shouldn't have done this, but he actually tweeted, "I have never been paid to promote a tournament." It's like, really? Do you even need to like address this crap? It's just so dumb. No one's getting paid. Okay. Look, there's great games. Like we're going to get Tennessee, Kansas today. We're going to get Gonzaga, Michigan. Should it be Tennessee, Gonzaga? Yes, because Tennessee has better wins, but they're going by margin of victory. Michigan destroyed San Diego State and a not very good Auburn team. Okay, so they get to play in the championship, but that's dumb. But like this idea that people are getting paid off, I mean, it's stupid. Just stop. It's embarrassing. And finally, Robbie, I gotta touch on this. I'm trying to find the story, but Diana Rossini has written about our buddy Tom Brady, and so apparently he was the one who adamantly was all over, like, we got to get Chip Kelly in here, man. Let's get Chip Kelly. This is going to be amazing. For people who didn't see this week, Chip Kelly has been relieved of his duties. He got a 3-year deal worth $6 million a year, and he has already been fired by Pete Carroll and the Raiders. So I'm just wondering, like, I understand that Tom Brady was an amazing quarterback, absolutely one of the best AFC East quarterbacks of all time. It's no argument. Okay, how bad is he at everything else?
Jeez, your hatred for Brady runs deep.
It's not hatred. You have admitted he's not a good announcer. Okay, I mean he's average. He's fine. It doesn't like offend me anymore. I think he's gotten better, but it's not great, right? He's not Greg Olson.
I think your love for Greg Olson is a little bit overrated too, but that's fine. He's not Greg Olson.
Okay. Brady is annoying.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, boy, running a team's going very well, Tom. Going great. How did you enjoy Shedeur Sanders, who you basically betrayed in his life, coming in and smoking your team? Oh, you didn't enjoy that because you were calling a game that was too good for you to call, but the listeners had to sit there and listen to you call that game.
Jeez.
I'm just saying, like, when is Tom Brady going to do something? I mean, other than being a very good quarterback who, did some really good stuff. What else, man?
Yeah,
like, do we have to
what's
have
next? What are you doing?
His roast was pretty good. I'll give him that. Good roast.
Let me also say, I too have never been paid to promote a college basketball tournament, but I am open to it. So if you're interested out there, I'm open to it.
Like this guy tweeted, was like, they're getting rooms comped. They're getting just so they can go out and promote. It's like, guys, the tournament is already like on TNT. Like, it's on primetime every night. Like, I don't think Jeff Goodman tweeting nice things about it is going to tip the scales.
We've got an open mind. That's all I'm saying. Got an open mind.
I mean, I'll do it too.
Let's head back to our phone line. Welcome in Jeff to the program. Jeff, good morning. Thank you for calling in. Hello, Jeff. I think we've lost Jeff, Ian.
He's probably
Jeff, call back
supporter.
Later. Could be. 615-737-1025. Our phone number. A lot of your thoughts to get to on the text line. We will do that coming up next. We'll get into the Titans and the Jags coming up this weekend. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Final hour, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robby Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. We'll have Pigskin Pick'em coming up at 8:30. A very busy football weekend. Taking your thoughts on Tennessee Vanderbilt throughout the rest of the show. We're going to get into the Titans here in just a few minutes as well. Chase from White Bluff on the text line says, Joe said greatest AFC East quarterback, like Brady ain't the greatest quarterback of all time. Tyler says one of the best AFC East quarterbacks of all time is one of the best trolls of Tom Brady that I've ever heard in my life. This is from Tyler on the text line.
I mean, it's not the first time I've
it's a common occurrence.
I think it's he's a great he's a great quarterback. We can all agree, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're all on the same page, man.
Do you agree?
Yes, he was really good. Did a good job. What? I don't know. I'm saying nothing but positive things about him.
Brady did a nice job.
Pretty good.
Byron says, so the rant today was calling the GOAT 6'7"? Is that what we're doing? 6'7" for Brady?
Huh? I will say, man, when Hunter Yurachek did that last night, to support Nate here, boy. Oh God. And Reese was just like,
aha, yeah.
Thanks, Hunter. Okay.
Appreciate that.
Maybe that can be the official ending point. Maybe he can kill it right there. That guy, he officially made it uncool.
Just make it totally ridiculous. Yeah,
that's a good point. That should be aired all over TikTok and wherever these kids are. Snapchat, be like, look at this guy.
Well, we got to stop doing that now.
Yeah. Move on to something else.
Joe, the
Gangnam Style. What year was that? Let's go back to that.
Would pay to see you do that dance. The Titans and the Jags coming up on Sunday from Nissan Stadium, the final game of the homestand for the Titans. Joe, the Jaguars a 6.5-point favorite in this matchup. We'll get into that a little bit later in the program. But what do you make of Jacksonville coming in here? Can Cam Ward put together a couple of back-to-back good performances, and can they take down these nerds? Look, I know everybody's rooting for the number one pick, and I get it. I am too. I would like to see them beat Jacksonville at least once this year. Just beat Jacksonville one time and put these idiots in their place.
Well, there's an interesting question. If you're a Titans fan, and I know some are like, no, I want them to win all the games, and that's fine too. I totally respect that.
I think those numbers are dwindling.
Yeah, but if you're a Titans fan and you're kind of towing that line of Cam Ward, keep getting better, keep giving us hope, but also if you guys score some points, play pretty well, but then lose a close game, I'm not sad because I want the number one pick, because getting the number one pick I think could be definitely another accelerator. So if you're that, but let's say, okay, so how many can the Titans win and so get the number one pick? I think they can win one or two more, right? To feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one more you still feel good.
Yeah.
Two more you're probably okay. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so let's say there's only one game you can win the rest of the year. Is it this? Are they the team, Titans fans, that you hate the most because they have this 9-year-old GM was like, hey guys, we can't wait to win a Super Bowl?
Where would you rather win, here or in Jacksonville in front of the fans of the Milky Pool?
That's a good question too.
I vote here because they haven't won here in over a year.
Yeah, but like going and also that game's late enough that you could like ruin their playoff dreams potentially.
It's true.
So there's that. But yeah, I mean, this is the one that's right here. So would you rather, if you could, because obviously the Colts they're playing for big stakes. The Texans are trying to hang in. The Jags are trying to hang in. Which of those three would you like to? Well, obviously you're done with the Colts anyway. So which of those other two would you rather undercut? Now, Amy's answer would of course be the Texans, right?
Well, they're done with them too. So they got Jacksonville left.
Oh gosh, you're right. Okay, well then I guess it's just the Jags. Okay, so to any other possible win on the schedule, I don't even know what other win on the schedule would even be satisfying.
The Saints, that's not satisfying.
Like, you don't want to beat them.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to make sure they keep.
Cam Ward versus Shedeur.
I mean, I think it would be.
If it's Cam Ward versus Shedeur,
there's
you
that
might want to take him down.
There would be one. Like, there's one that's not going to happen, but there is a potential satisfying one of like, what if the Titans were the team that like basically took the Chiefs out of the playoff running? How hilarious would that be?
Yeah,
that could happen.
It could.
Yeah, that would be. Of course, that's also a reminder of like, remember when the Titans and Chiefs played like in AFC Championship games, and then we're gonna play in another one before Ryan Tannehill threw those picks. Remember that? Like they were both there.
Don't do dumb that hurt the team.
Yes, and now the Chiefs are still kind of there, but yeah, that's an interesting one. I think it's the Jags, though, right? I think it's the Jags. I think it's the Jags. So if you can mess them up, that would be good. So it is, it's rivalry weekend.
Yeah,
not just for the Vols and Vandy, also for the Titans.
Let's head back to our phone line. Welcome in Adam in Portland to the program. Adam, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, Robby, man. Hey, Joe. So I actually 100% agree with you on the Brady stuff. Number one, I do think we're going to beat the Jaguars this weekend. I think it's going to be the last win we get, and I'm okay with that.
Come on.
Yeah, I'll be there, man. I'm excited about it. So as far as Tom Brady goes, I think because it was like overnight, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. It wasn't even after a Super Bowl. It was just overnight. It was offensive to start calling anybody else the greatest quarterback. They're like, we're all in agreement, right? No, we're not in agreement, man. Like, I don't have to love this guy like everybody else loves him. I understand he's a great quarterback. I hate that you always have to get the disclaimer that he's a great quarterback, but I think he's so bad at everything else as far as announcing and owning and being a husband that he should not – it should pull him down. It should pull him down the list. Like, he should be 2 or 3 now at least. So, like, he's not the greatest quarterback to ever step on a football field. He's not the greatest human. He's pretty good in 10. I do like that too. That doesn't get mentioned enough. But other than that, dude, like I think Joe Money is still always going to be my quarterback for some reason. Like I just can't get off of it.
Well, Joe doesn't have him in the top 50, so Joe's the only human on the earth that doesn't have Brady or Joe Montana in the top 50 of his all-time quarterbacks. That's good.
That's offensive. Yeah.
Joe Montana did a great job. He's good. Man. He's really good. Look, nobody can touch Dan Fouts, and we all know this. It's that someday the football nation will understand. We'll go back and watch some Dan Fouts clips and say, "Oh yeah, actually, that's the best quarterback of all time."
Dennis says, "Joe
he is in Canton."
Dennis says, "Joe thinks Brady is overrated." And Robby thinks the Beatles are overrated. What is wrong with you guys?
I mean, you cannot. I think Brady's great. Okay, you cannot compare my Brady take to the Beatles crap. I mean, come on, that hurts me, Dennis. That hurts me.
Beatles are at least a top 400 band of all time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay, all right.
So how many bands are? There's a lot of bands out there. Top 400 is pretty good.
That's true. That's actually the nicest thing you've ever said about the Beatles. So I guess I'll take it.
But man, people are confident about the Titans this week. Adam says they're winning. Got people on the text line saying that the Titans are going to take down Duval this week. Top Tier says the Titans are locked to at least cover this week against the Jags. This is the most optimism
6.5
I sense from the Titans fan base in a long time, Joe.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, right? I mean, it is. It's again. It's like that's Saltine. No, is that Ritz? Is that a Ritz? I mean, like it doesn't take much. But you know what? I don't know that I disagree. I mean, I kind of have that feeling too. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence is so. I watched Trevor Lawrence. Like I watched quite a bit of that last game, and
he's not very good.
Right. He makes some ridiculous decisions, mistakes. And then he'll make, he'll rip them down the field and look great for I don't know. It's gotta be, yeah, that's a good word for it. If you're a Jags fan, like if you're being honest, I know Todd from Jacksonville has long since abandoned us, or at least never comments, or at least doesn't put his name on it. But like they must be the definition of mushy middle, right? In the NFL. It's just like, yeah, like they're, on Travis Hunter, you hope he becomes a great player and all that stuff. But are you really ever going to be all that good with Trevor Lawrence as your quarterback?
No.
I have my doubts.
No.
70% chance of showers on Sunday.
There we go.
So maybe a little sloppy.
You muck it up a little bit out there.
Run game can get going, huh?
Great. Yeah.
Turn around, hand it off.
Yeah.
Let's head back to the phone line. Welcome in Dustin in Hopkinsville to the program. Dustin, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, guys. Yeah. So if we start winning games the way Cam's been playing, I didn't want Cam, but then I had his back after the preseason. Man, I'm okay with it because that means that dude's developing and he's being consistent. You know what? There's not as many holes as we thought on defense. These young guys just keep coming in and impressing, and we've got part of the skeleton on offense too. The running game stinks, the line stinks, but hey, if Cam Ward's out there being consistent and developing, win the rest of the damn games. I don't care. Winning football, and I know Borgonzi can do it again with whatever picks we have. I got faith in the dude. That's what I got to say about it.
That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Dustin, for the call. We'll continue to take your reaction. 615-737-1025, our phone number. The Titans taking on the Jags, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt in a massive one at Neyland Stadium coming up on Saturday. We got Pigskin Pick 'em at 8:30. All that ahead. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Saturday's college football game of the week, Vanderbilt at Tennessee at 2:30 on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan, presented by Twin Peaks Restaurants and Circa Sportsbook, Kentucky. Coverage also available on the Game Nashville app and at thegamenashville.com. Taking your thoughts on the Titans, on Vanderbilt, Tennessee, 615-737-1025, our phone number. We'll have Pigskin Pick'em coming up here in just over 10 minutes. The competition heating up as we head into the last part of college football season and rounding the corner in the NFL. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Joe, I mean, look, Titans fans, clearly, I think this week, and there's a limitation to it. I understand it. But clearly, Titans fans this week, encouraged by what they saw from Cam Ward against Seattle. And I'm not kidding you. Text line right now is fired up. They think they're taking down Jacksonville. I like it.
You know what? It's good to see some. It's good to see some confidence.
Change of pace
in any way as it relates to the Tennessee Titans.
I agree.
So I'm absolutely here for it. And again, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Now we're going to sit here on Monday and be like, no. So after that Jags 30 Titans 9 game, let's. How did Cam look? But no, I mean, I feel like the Titans actually. Again, the pass rush has been definitely better than I would have guessed this year. Simmons has been great. The defense, for the most part, has held pretty strong. The special teams has actually been really good. The best return in the NFL. And now your rookie quarterback is starting to look pretty good. And even, it's hilarious to sit here and say, even with a 70 sack pace, I actually do think the offensive line is a little better this year. Am I off on that? Is that an insane thing to say?
Oh, I think it's a little better. I mean, you don't look out there as bad as the Mandor has been at times. I don't think you look out there and say, well, wow, they've dressed up an absolute turnstile out there like they did with Andre Dillard and NPF.
It hasn't been a complete jailbreak every time.
Yeah. It's like the door. I mean, doors closed sometimes too. You know?
Yeah, wind catches the back of it and slams it shut every now and again.
That's right. So, yeah, get excited. It sounds amazing. I mean, it's better than the Preds.
Yeah, right now. Let's head back to our phone line. Welcome in Trey to the program. Trey, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Good, Trey.
Hey, I wanted to say that I think the way Cam played last week, I know it was kind of like unproductive time that he got all that, what he did, But as far as him, going down the field, and systematically was good. Him, running to get first down and them 3-4 yards that obviously Tony Pollard can't get, but that's an O-line issue. I think we actually have a slim chance of beating Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. But if Trevor Lawrence get a bead on the Titans and come here and put up 350 on them, I would hate for us to lose by 3 points. I would rather us get blown out by 20 points. You know what I'm saying? But I think this could be a game that is a winnable game. But I think it's probably the only winnable game that we have the rest of this season. And what do y'all think? Do y'all think we have a slim chance of beating Jacksonville on Sunday? And y'all have a good Thanksgiving. I love y'all. Take care today.
Thank you, Trey. Happy Thanksgiving. Appreciate it. I would say this. First off, I do not think it's the most winnable game left on their schedule. I think that honor probably belongs to the New Orleans Saints.
Yep, the aforementioned Saints.
So there is that. Also, I don't know about you, Joe. If I'm a Titans fan, I would much rather them lose by 3 than 20 this week to the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that's just me.
I don't think it matters in the rankings.
Look, you brought up Lawrence. His numbers are not good. Like, he's completed 59.8% of his passes, 2,400 yards. So he's thrown for a decent amount of yards, 14 touchdowns, 11 picks. He turns the ball over all the time. Like, he's a turnover machine out there. So, like you said, he'll make some throws. Like, he layered one throw last week. I mean, right over the middle, over the top of 2 Arizona linebackers, right in between the safety. And it's like, well, you can't throw a football better than that. And it's unbelievable, the throw that he makes. And then you'll watch him with some of the turnovers he's got, and it's just crazy. Like, it's been long enough at this point, Joe. I mean, he's played 71 games at this point in the NFL. Like, I think we just kind of know what he is. He's an okay quarterback that at times will have great games, And then at times he looks awful. Like he'll throw the ball to the other team a lot. That's what he is at this point. So, like, I guess the question specifically for this week is the Titans defense in a situation where they can at all take advantage of that based on who's available to them.
Yeah, he still has turnovers that just boggle the mind. So, yeah, they need to get one or two, I'd say for sure, to have a chance to win the game. So, and I think that's possible. And not to throw cold water on everything here, but all those things you said about Trevor Lawrence, I agree. And also, like, Cam Ward still has quite a bit of work ahead of him to get to that level. Okay. Again, I'm not saying he can't be better than Trevor Lawrence. I think he can be. But like, for all the criticisms, like you go through the numbers, you go through the entirety of his career, there has been good too. There has been good game stretches. Obviously everybody was hoping that Liam Cohen would like unlock, make the run game better, and so that you'd get him to a different level. I don't think we've seen that yet. And at this point, I'm starting to just have that idea. Like, this is kind of what he is. They've paid him. He's going to be their quarterback. You can win. You can be competitive, but obviously that's not very satisfying. I wouldn't think that'd be very satisfying for Jags fans. And if you're a Titans fan, you want more than that.
Now, having said all that, they are 7-4, and they're playing the Titans twice down the stretch, right? So, I mean,
that's true.
There's a decent shot that they're going to make the playoffs, and I have no idea what they'll do if they get there. And like I said, I'm not counting the Titans out this weekend. I still am not overly convinced that Jacksonville's all that good, but we know the Titans aren't good. So they do have to play the Titans twice down the stretch here. And they've gotten some big wins this year. When their head coach decided it'd be a good idea to try to challenge Robert Saleh to a fight after the game. I mean, it's a big win for Jacksonville in the game. I don't know if I'd recommend doing what he did after that, but they've still got the Jets on the schedule, the Titans twice. They've got, Denver and Indy, which are going to be tough games, but you factor in the Titans twice and the Jets, Jacksonville should at least end up with 10 wins if you're looking at the odds at the end of the year.
Yeah, and again, like you said, I mean, they beat Kansas City. It was a big one to get to 4-1. They've stumbled since then. They had the San Fran game you mentioned, but just last week they beat the Chargers 35-6. They put Harbaugh in a box and sent him home. So I mean, yeah, like they're capable of looking really good.
What the heck's going on with the NFL schedule here, by the way, too? Jacksonville has not played the Titans or the Colts yet. It's week 13.
Yeah. That's very dumb. So essentially, I know Sunday is the 30th, but essentially you're going to play the two division rivals both after December. That's
so dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with having to have games in Frankfurt and Edinburgh or whatever. I don't know.
Maybe so. Trevor, on the text lines, Trevor Lawrence has not been the prince that was promised. I am on Trevor Lawrence's Pro Football Reference page. The prince who was promised nickname is still there. Cam doesn't have one yet. Well, on the Pro Football Reference page, we got to get him a nickname.
I mean, the Trevor Lawrence hype has to have a lot to do with his hair, right? Like, if Trevor Lawrence didn't have hair like that, would people really think he was going to be would he still get the benefit of the doubt at this point?
Good question.
I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the hair.
I think you're right. He looks exactly like the dude in Shrek 2.
Joe, what's your Lord Farquaad? Joe, what's your favorite?
No.
The Shrek 2 one. Yeah. I'm with you.
Timberlake.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Joe, what's your favorite Brady nickname? Tom Terrific, Touchdown Tom, Goat, the Pharaoh, Comeback Kid, or Sir?
Is this on Pro Football?
It's on Pro Football Reference.
They keep adding things. They added
Sir.
Sir. Really? They added Sir. Well, my favorite's the Pharaoh because I still have no idea what the hell it means. Is it because he's had so much plastic surgery that he always has to take like wraps off his face?
He does look terrible right now.
Like, I didn't know we were going to use this to just rip his appearance now. He's a good-looking man.
Well, just age, dude. You don't have to throw Botox into your face every day like this. It's insane. Like, it's obvious.
It is freaky.
Also,
you go back and look at a picture of him when he's like 25. He looks older then than he does now.
Right. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's there's some stuff that ain't quite right. And by the way, I mean, I had this rant previously. Someone on my personal text line reminded me, let's not forget the dog cloning.
Oh yeah, he's going to clone himself.
Let's not forget the dog cloning and whatever cloning plans he may have. I mean, he may be like a emerging supervillain in the world, like a Bond villain. Okay,
just keep this in mind out there. You're not ugly. You're just not rich, like Brady. That's what it all comes down to.
But again, like Brady, just just age, dude. It's okay.
Pigskin Pick'em is coming up
guy.
Next. We'll take your thoughts. 615-737-1025. Robby and Rexrode. Maybe the last edition ever. 1025 The Game.
Now, it's time for Pigskin Pick'em with Robby and Rexrode on ESPN 102.5 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
It is time for Pigskin Pick'em, normally on Fridays, but it's Thanksgiving week, baby. And we're off Thursday and Friday, which means it is time for some picks. Last week, Rexrode leading the way, 3-3 with his lock. I was 3-3, no lock. Ian Safar 1-5 without a lock, which brings the overall standings. I remain in first place, 41-37 overall, 5-8 on my locks, 46 points. Ian Safar 38-40, 5-8 on his locks, 43 points. Joe Rexrode 33-45, 8-5 on his locks, good for 41 points. That's where we stand in the competition. Bishop on the YouTube chat asking if Joe will have the intestinal fortitude to stand by his preseason pick that Vanderbilt beats UT, or will he continue to underestimate them? And we are just moments away from finding out here on the program. But that's not where we're starting. We're starting with a Thanksgiving game tomorrow. The Green Bay Packers on the road taking on the Detroit Lions. A Thanksgiving Day, Turkey Day tradition. Detroit at home. They are a 2.5-point favorite against the Green Bay Packers. I will start on this one. I will begrudgingly and nervously take the Green Bay Packers plus 2.5 in this matchup. I think they're playing very well defensively. I think Micah Parsons is going to be a huge problem for the Detroit Lions, and I think that ends up being the difference in the game. So I'll take the Packers plus 2.5. I'll take the Packers to win outright. Ian Safar, who we got? Packers, Lions.
I don't know. I'm torn on this when we were talking about it during the break. I don't know. I guess maybe the Lions were looking ahead to this game. I don't know. I also am begrudgingly taking the Lions minus 2.5. Maybe they'll win by a field goal.
Going with Detroit minus the 2.5 in this game. Joe Rexrode, your former beloved Lions, taking on the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving Day.
Packers lock. Lions offensive line is trash, which is crazy, but they are. And as I said before the season, I hope people remember, they are not going to be a playoff team this year. Here's another big moment in making that happen. Packers win by, I'll say Packers 24-14.
Okay, going with the lock of the Green Bay Packers tomorrow. Vanderbilt and Tennessee coming up in a highly anticipated matchup, Neyland Stadium on Saturday. On the FanDuel Sportsbook, Tennessee is a 2.5-point favorite. Ian Safar, we begin with you. Vanderbilt taking on the Vols.
Okay, I was disappointed in myself last week for not going Vandy. And, I found myself rooting for Vandy to win. And so I want Vandy to win this game. So I'm going to pick Vandy so I can root for Vandy. Vandy plus 2.5 at Tennessee.
Going Vandy plus the 2.5 on the road at Neyland Stadium. Joe Rexrode, Vanderbilt, 2.5-point underdogs at Tennessee.
So to answer the texture there, I do remember saying that. And then also, then you get information and you're allowed to change your picks. By the way, it's pretty hilarious that I just said that. And the information is that Vanderbilt's having his greatest season ever. And therefore, however, Tennessee is also better than I thought they'd be this year. And Tennessee's at home. And look, I think that both offenses are going to do really well. I think Tennessee does a little bit better at home, and really, I don't think incentive is any difference at all in this game. I understand Vanderbilt has more at stake, but Tennessee can't lose this game, wants to beat Pavia, max motivation. And by the way, look at how they played at Florida. You wonder if maybe the distraction that is no longer in the team has actually kind of helped some things. I think Tennessee's going to win this game by a touchdown.
GB Joe in full support this morning of his beloved Tennessee Vols.
There you go.
I'm going to take Tennessee in this matchup for a lot of the same reasons. I mean, they're at home. It's a I think Tennessee's offense is going to have a good day against Vanderbilt. Frankly, I think Vanderbilt's offense is going to have a good day against Tennessee's defense. This is going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire. But I think Tennessee being at home, I think that Joey Aguilar will make some plays out there. Give me a 38-35 final. Tennessee wins 38-35 in this game. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tennessee Titans. Jacksonville is a 6.5-point favorite. Joe Rexrode, who we got?
Man, I've been caught up in this optimism, but then I thought about it. I was like, dude, shut up. Give me the Jags.
Jeez.
I'm talking to myself to shut up, by the way, not everybody else.
Give me the Titans. Give me the Titans to win. You know, I said I wouldn't do it again this year after they botched one of those early games. I can't even remember which one it was. I think it may have been the Colts. I think I guaranteed the Colts win early in the year. Looking back, what a stupid thing that was. I said I wouldn't do it again. But then I hear clips of Liam Cohen and James Gladstone, and I have no choice. The Titans are winning this game. They're covering the 6.5. Win number 2 for the Tennessee Titans coming up this weekend. Ian Safar, who we got?
I also think I'm going to take the Titans.
Yes.
This is the part of the season in the back half where we kind of thought Ward would be better at backdoor late covers, and that kind of happened last week. I'm wondering if that's going to maybe start a trend here. Give me, the Jags. They have to win by a touchdown, so I'll take the Titans.
Mike McCoy coaching them up out there. We'll see how it goes this weekend. We move to the individual portion of the program. Give me the Ole Miss Rebels -7.5 against Mississippi State. A lot of chatter around Ole Miss. A lot of chatter about what's going to happen with Lane Kiffin. And I think a lot of people think, well, they're distracted heading into the Egg Bowl. They're going to win by 21 points. They're going to destroy Mississippi State in this game. Make it my lock. Locking down on Lane. Ole Miss -7.5 against Mississippi State. Ian Safar, your first individual selection.
I thought about that. I decided not to just because of the rivalry situation. My lock this week is going to be Notre Dame -32.5 at Stanford. They are in pure style points.
Yep.
For Notre Dame here.
Stanford's bad too.
And they should have taken this against Syracuse last week. Absolutely destroyed them. So give me Notre Dame, the Irish, -32.5 at Stanford. Make it my lock.
There we go. Locking
Stanford.
down.
I'd just like to say Stanford just beat rival Cal and got their coach fired. Just saying.
Joe Rexrode, your first individual selection.
Okay, let's go to the Iron Bowl. Alabama, Auburn. Alabama is Auburn's at home getting 6.5. Alabama's going to win that game by more than a touchdown. Give me Alabama.
Going Alabama -6.5 against Auburn, where weird things happen.
Yeah, 6.5 feels low, doesn't it?
I think they may be factoring in weird. I mean, Auburn's got good defense, as we know, except when they play Vanderbilt. Good defense. So we'll see how that goes in the Iron Bowl coming up. Joe Rexrode, your second individual selection.
Okay, so I'm going to stick with sort of these SEC games that are very relevant to Vanderbilt if Vanderbilt could beat Tennessee. LSU at Oklahoma. Oklahoma -10.5. Now, LSU, the big question here, of course, is how much they want to play. But they do have a chance to ruin someone's season. And Oklahoma, the 10.5 is a big number for a team with an offense that really isn't doing anything right now. So give me LSU to cover. I think LSU might have a shot to shock them, but I like them to cover.
Going LSU plus the 10.5 against Oklahoma. Ian Safar, your second individual selection.
Okay, my next two are NFL. I will do one more Thursday game, Thanksgiving tomorrow. Give me the Chiefs -3.5 at Dallas. I think maybe to squeak out the win over the Colts last week for KC in overtime, maybe gets them some momentum. Dallas coming off a big win over Philly in the comeback. Chiefs -3.5 versus at Dallas, of course, for Thanksgiving.
Give me App State -2.5 against Arkansas State. There's not much I know about in life, but Butch Jones losing the last game of the season, that I can take to the bank. Butch Jones will lose. Give me App State -2.5 against Arkansas State coming up this weekend in a game that I'm sure dozens will be watching.
Get him, Butch. Get him. I saw Butch's anger last week. He's going to translate that.
Where are the fans at? I don't see them. Where are they?
His team is going to be fired up, baby. Let's go.
Ian Safar, your final individual selection.
Okay, I'm sticking with AFC South battle. Houston +4.5 at the Colts. Houston's defense is very good. I think they can keep it close. So I think they can keep it within a field goal. Give me Houston +4.5 at the Colts.
Texans plus the 4.5 at the Colts on the road. Big AFC South weekend this weekend in the National Football League. Get excited. Joe Rexrode, your final individual selection.
Okay, going to the NFL. Bears at Eagles. The Eagles, that's a tough one against the Cowboys. We're back to turmoil for the Eagles and all this stuff. And we got the Bears are 8-3. It's seriously the absolute worst 8-3 team in the history of the NFL, bar none. I guess I'm just going to keep saying this until I say, it's the worst Super Bowl champion I've ever seen, bar none. But the Eagles -6.5. Eagles are going to beat the crap out of the Bears. I almost made it my lock, but I'll just take the Eagles minus the 6.5.
Philadelphia taking down Chicago, which as a Packer fan, I would welcome. I would welcome that. Give me the Florida Gators -1.5 against Florida State. Think about after week 1, right? Like Florida State takes down Alabama. Florida was highly thought of in the preseason. It's like, hey, look here. I mean, Florida State could really mean something at the end of the year. Boy, does it not mean anything at all. But I tell you this, Florida's at home. I know Florida State's, jazzed up with Mike Norvell coming back. Congratulations to your fans. But Florida's going to win. Florida will cover the -1.5 and what's essentially a pick 'em. I'll take the Gators. Is this a pity vote for me?
Gus and Quinn are barking wildly about that pick. They must be really excited for this rivalry game.
Must be. You gonna be watching any of Florida State this weekend?
I remember when that was absolutely the biggest game every November, man. Bowden against Spurrier. Yeah. Wow, look how far we've fallen.
Not good. Not good. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Our final thoughts on Vanderbilt and Tennessee coming up next. If you're a Vanderbilt fan, you can yell at Rexrode for being a total homer for Tennessee. We can do that next as well. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. The MTSU Blue Raiders taking on New Mexico State this Saturday at 2 o'clock. Catch all the action on Totally Hits 93.3. Coverage also available on the Totally Hits Nashville app and at TotallyHitsNashville.com. Joe Rexrode, final thoughts on Tennessee and Vanderbilt as we prepare for the game on Saturday. Going to be a good one at Neyland Stadium. The environment, I'm sure, will be awesome. Lots on the line for the Vanderbilt Commodores heading into this one. You have picked Tennessee. You have disappointed all of Vandy Nation. Joe, your response, your thoughts heading into this matchup.
Well, Vandy Nation should be excited because I suck at predicting everything. So, first of all, you're welcome. I'm sure the text line I'm getting ripped. I have no idea because the text line does not want me to participate and bumps me out every single day now, which is just really exciting stuff. But look, man, I mean, I just think Tennessee. I just think that it's been. I know that you don't want to make too much of previous matchups because this is by far the best Vanderbilt team. And again, I think Vanderbilt is going to be right there with a chance to win the game. And so that is a huge step up from what has been the case in the Josh Heupel era, right? Heupel against Clark Lee has not gone well at all for Vanderbilt. A few years ago, there was a huge talent difference. It's not as much. I mean, Caleb on the YouTube chat says 38-31. That's exactly my pick too. 38-31 Vols. And it's just as simple as like, that stadium is going to be packed. It matters. Home field matters, and Tennessee has one of the best home field advantages in the entire sport. Tennessee has one of the best home field advantages in sports when that stadium gets rocking. And I just think it's going to be a really fun game. A lot of offense, just a little bit more offense for Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, the offenses for both teams, I think, are going to move the ball in this game. I mean, Tennessee ran the ball for 248 yards last week. If you're Vanderbilt, you got to find a way to stop that. And I know that Tennessee has been really productive in the passing game. I know that for the first time in the history of their program at this point in the year, they've got 3 guys over 700 yards receiving in Matthews, Staley, and Brazel. So they're obviously dangerous down the field. Joe, you got to find a way if you're Vanderbilt to limit their effectiveness in the run game. That's how people beat Tennessee. Like, if you can find a way to limit their effectiveness in the running game, then you can hang in there. You can come up with some stops. If you just let them run all over you, it's just hard to stop them because eventually they run, and then they nail one down the field. And that's got to be – Vanderbilt's got to find a way to make sure Tennessee just doesn't do whatever they want to do running the ball. On the flip side for Tennessee, their defense played well last week against Florida. I think that has been a very limited Florida offense all year, even though they've got some talent. Maybe their defense is much better off just not having Boo Carter there. We'll see. But I think Vanderbilt's going to put up some – it's going to be – I would be very surprised if this is not a pretty high-scoring game on Saturday. Very surprised.
Yeah. And maybe it's as simple as, both of these quarterbacks are going to have some vertical shots available. Obviously, we know Tennessee's offense is going to supply those opportunities a lot. It might be as simple as which of these quarterbacks drops it in the bucket maybe one more time than the other guy does. It could be something like that. The way Pavia is throwing the ball lately is just absurdly good. And look, Pavia has got serious momentum in the Heisman race right now. And if they win, Vanderbilt may not make the playoff because they need help, and they may not get the help. Oklahoma has screwed this entire thing up. A few weeks ago, I was like, yeah, they'll be in at 10-2. Oklahoma winning at Bama and Tennessee has flipped that on its head. But if they win, even if they get locked out, that might win him the Heisman.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. I mean, conference championship.
It depends.
It depends
the
on
conference
championship weekend.
Yeah,
but yeah,
of course.
I thought when they lost the Texas game, I thought he was done. Even though the numbers for him are good in that game. But I thought he was done in the Heisman race after they lost that game. And how he has responded since then, and frankly, the numbers that he's put up since then, pretty absurd.
Yeah, and it's just gonna again be how many people are fatigued by, okay, here's the great quarterback on the best team, either Indiana or Ohio State. I think Simpson has kind of faded with that loss to Oklahoma. Again, Simpson outplayed Pavia and beat him, but when you think about like the overall impact of elevating that program, and then again just playing at the level he's playing at, and no one else right now is really. Jeremiah Love is actually making a move too from Notre Dame, but it's It's in there. But I know there's somebody on the YouTube chat always gets mad when we mention the Heisman because no one cares about that.
Matthew from Nashville says if Tim Banks coaches well, then the game's not going to be close. But that's a massive if. Says if Tim Banks brings his A game, it's not going to be close between the balls and the doors.
So what does that mean? I mean, like, he's the defensive coordinator. There's defensive calls. But, I mean, some of this isn't it? Do you look at players and say, go play tackle the guy? I mean, you can call coverages, you can call pressures. The problem is, again, this Vanderbilt offense is so varied and can give you so much eye candy and have so much misdirection in it. I mean, a lot of it really is just simply players playing assignment football and making plays. And again, don't get beat deep too, because they've got speed on the outside.
All right, Joe, we got about 10 seconds. Where's LSU coaching when we're back on the where's LSU coaching? Where's Lane Kiffin coaching when we're back on the air on Monday?
You just said it. Come on down. A crawfish etouffee.
I can't wait till he's the head coach at LSU and he hires Orgeron to be the D-line coach. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, please.
It's going to be awesome. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. Hope you have a safe time. We'll be back on Monday. Next Man Up coming up next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game.